Alafia. I'm Philip John Nymark, the founder of the Ifa Foundation International. I'd like to welcome you to this month's Icofa. It's something which gives me a great deal of pleasure, actually. So we've slowly transitioned over to making the combination of once a month we give Orunmila, or we seek to give Orunmila, those things which he would like or need during the upcoming month. Um, Sounds strange, right? But he's not some magical creature that, could perform at the snap of your fingers. Uh, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of people, and it's a lot of direction. And so to become a participant, to become uh, you know, somebody who joins into the process instead of just benefits from the process, is really, very enlightening for me. Very, the dogs are barking. Uh, Very close to my heart, in other words, to do all this. And I think that over a period of time, you're going to learn to love it as much as I do. I think the difference here is that um, when doing this for Arugula, uh, it takes some effort on your part. You have to think of the things which you're giving Arugula, that you're offering Arugula, because he says no for a number of items. Okay, the majority of things which you ask is no, But then there will be those few that he wants, and you have to think about, hey, how are these going to fit in, or how do these fit into, what his, agenda is. So it's really quite exciting. I mean, it truly is quite exciting. Uh, right here we have a very nice Odu for Rumula. Um, it is Ofun Otura, and when we look at the first part of it, it is about doing all of those things possible to maximize the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding that Orunmila has. In other words, it's all about wisdom. And the other part of the Odu, the emotional spiritual, is about share this. I mean, use the wind at your back, but have the understanding and the belief system that will function will function and give you the understanding that, hey, this is what Orunmila wants. This is where we're going. Um, and of course, it comes in array. It's a very, very strong array. Um, and that's, where we stand. Except for those offerings which are necessary. And those offerings which are necessary, this time around, it's not one or two things, but actually more. And that's another interesting thing, because there's sometimes where, Orunmila will want a single item, and he says, that's fine. I don't need anything else. I don't want anything else. Um, and there's other times when it can be, much more, involved than that. And this time is one of those that is going to be involved. The first thing is that, and they're kind of, when I say cute, they're kind of like, cutish things which we're giving to Orunmila, and which he will give almost in a playful manner, or use in an almost playful manner, to get you what you need and what you want. The first thing that he wants is shea butter. The shea butter is soothing. It's very, simple, to use, but it's different than other kinds of butter or other kinds of oil. So that's number one. Number two was one of my favorites. He also wanted lollipops. Well, I had to smile and say that because I had looked and looked and looked, and finally, almost out of desperation, I said, "Is it lollipops that you want?" And I got a very strong yes. So he was like, some lollipops. At least two, by the way, not just a single lollipop, but two of them. And then there is the plants and the flowers, the beauty, the enjoyment of the the way they look, the way they smell, the way they are organized. They're all here, and what you need is a small, or maybe not so small, um, configuration of you know of these to offer to Orunmila, and then you put it there with some water. And finally, there's oil, and oil is about soothing um, and smoothing our journey. So all in all, what we have is a kind of a playful and yet serious-minded move into Orunmila's helping us for the coming month. And help you, he will. And what you need to do, by the way, is you need to take um, Orunmila down, if you're fortunate enough to have Orunmila, and you take 2 candles, not one, but 2 candles, all right? And you put them to burn, and then you put all of these offerings, 1, 2, 3, 4, one after the other, in front of Orunmila, or whatever passes for Orunmila for you, and prayer. And prayer is so important. I cannot stress this, or overstress it at least, because it doesn't just happen. When we start thinking it just happens, we lose the point of what all this is about. It's not that we're going to get everything right, but we'll lose the thrust. And this is about growth. This is about understanding. This is about trying to be not only a participant in the process, but a knowing participant. So if you do all those things, this is going to be a very, very good month for us. And it doesn't mean that everything will be used in one day or one time period, but it does mean that everything will be used. So that's 2 things of water. All right, and the gifts that you're giving, the prayer that you're leaving them with, and lo and behold, it should be a very, very nice day, leading into a very, very nice month for all of us. Until next week, until next month, love and blessings.